morning. We have been talking about Claude Monet, and he's an Impressionist artist. And so here's his picture. I'm trying to do a video from up above, and I think it might turn out pretty well. We'll see. So he is an Impressionist artist, and I've talked to you about how the paintbrush changed, and we have brand new paintbrushes that I was able to buy for the classroom. This is a flat brush. You can see how it's flat, and this is a round brush. Okay. So what you want is, we're going to use the flat brush today, because when the brush changed, the paint strokes changed for the artist. It became flat because they had the barrel. And the first thing that we're going to do, and this is your project, but I'm going to walk you through the steps. So there's your bridge, and that's the bridge that he had built. It's a Japanese bridge over the pond that he had made the pond, planted all these lily pads and all kinds of other plants that he had done. But the first thing you're going to do, and it's kind of like magic, you're going to take, these are different oil pastels than the ones that come in here. I don't have a good white, so we're going to use a white of this. And before we start doing this, you're going to practice drawing your bridge. And I want you to think about, what does it look like? We have two parallel lines, which we talked before, and then you just have more parallel lines that come down in here, and these are horizontal lines. And this is an arch, is how you would describe that. And we have the sky back here, and then underneath we have the water and the lily pads. So the first thing you're going to do is, for practicing, and I'm doing mine so you can see it in a marker. Where's my other marker? Oh, here we go. You're going to practice drawing your arch. And so you want it to go completely off the page. So if I start here on the edge, and I go up, and yours is going to be in pencil. I'm only doing this in marker so you can see it. It's very hard to see pencil on. It kind of looks like a rainbow. It's hard to see pencil on a video. And then you want it to be about the same size, and follow that arch along. You see how slow I'm going? Okay. And then you're going to bring in, and you can decide how many spaces you want in between. This is just the practice. So you're going to finish, drawing your bridge, go all the way across. All right. And then you're going to practice doing lily pads, because this is not your final project. Your final project is on the big paper. So a lily pad, I want you to think about it as, this is a heart. You know what a heart looks like. I want you to think about it on its side and squished. So if I draw the heart on its side, or maybe you want to think of it as a pancake. Okay, there's one lily pad. And what I want you to think about is, if this is a circle, you would be looking on top of the lily pad, and then you would have a piece cut out of it. But you don't want to look on top of it. That would be a bird's eye view. Instead, you want it from the side. Okay, and so you want it squished. And then you bring that line in. You can also bring the line in with a wavy line. And now this is not your project, like I said, so this is practicing. So you practice your layout. You can even put a frog in there. If you want to draw a frog, I want you to think about, this would be an oval. It's hard to draw it upside down. So there's your oval, and a kind of a fatter oval, and then you would have your eyes, and a circle inside a circle. And we know how to do these shapes. And then we have, look, there's our curved line. And then we have two legs on the side. Those kind of look like ovals, and see how they're overlapped where I didn't even show it. And then I want you to think about a fluffy W. So there's his feet, fluffy W. Then with the arms, you bring down two curved lines, and then you have teeny tiny smaller W. So and then your flower, if you're going to do your flower on your lily pad, it basically starts like this, where it goes straight across like that, and you're practicing right now along with me, straight up, and then you kind of make it look like a pom-pom, half of a pom-pom. You always want to make things look like something else. So we're practicing drawing on this. You're going to fill this all in. Now, when you go to the big project, this is the fun thing. You take your big piece of paper. This is when magic happens. And the first thing that you always do, remind your shoulder buddy, is to put your name on the back, which I have a Sharpie. You will not have a Sharpie. So write your name on the back. Check your shoulder buddy. Say name check. And then turn it over. Now, for this project, for you to see it, yours is going to be this huge paper. Okay, I started it on a little one. And when I say we're going to practice first, it's because you cannot see this oil pastel because it's white. So I turn it over, and you're going to have to remember how you drew that arch. Now, if this is dirty, you just take a scrap paper and rub it on its side and clean it. But you're going to have to like get down there, and I've been watching kids, we did it yesterday, and they're like looking, trying to see where they did their mark. Because the magic is once you add your watercolor. So there's my arch. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Think of a rainbow, but not as high in the middle. And I'm doing this really thick. I'm not having a thin line. And what we're going to do is you're going to do everything with your oil pastel. So there's my thick line. Now I'm going to bring in my part above. That's the part of the bridge, the horizontal lines. I'm doing this kind of quick so you can see. And now, then you will take your other colors, and remember we open these flaps first. Then we very carefully open it like this, push it out with our finger. You share this with your shoulder buddy. Now, if you have see how we're starting to peel these, which is fine. There's a little perforated spot, peel all around. You're going to make your lily pad. Now, for my lily pad, I would want a green oil pastel. And there's my bridge up above, and then down below is going to be the lily pad in the water. And you can make these as big, or you can have little teeny ones. You can be different types of shapes. But what I want to show you is you can come in and have some of it be lighter green and some of it be darker green. So it looks like it's the shading. And after you've done your lily pad, then you're going to come in with your colors. And I already showed you how to do the flower, the lily that's on there. And I would not choose black, but I would choose different colors. Maybe you want a purple flower, a pink flower, put some yellow in there. If you have a little bit of white in there, that's okay. Because once we come in with our paint, we're going to cover that up. So then, after you've gotten everything filled in, remember, ask 3 before you ask me. Say, do you think I'm ready? Is this balanced? Do I have enough lily pads over here? Should I add something? Did I put my bridge in? There's something else. If you want to do some tulips, you would have, or some grasses, you would basically just have like lines like this. Because if you see Monet's picture, and we've seen the garden in the video, and it's full of beautiful plants. So the whole thing is filled. And you can actually go and visit him. I'm sorry, he's not living anymore. You could go visit his gardens, which I would just love to go do. It's on my bucket list. So you would just peel this sideways like this. There's a little perforation. And please remember, this goes in the trash. Thank you. So I just set that right there. But then you want to bring in different colors. But back to the tulips. So I have different kinds of greens on top of them. You want to get everything blended out first. And you can do however you want. Maybe you want to bring some greenery on top of this bridge. Okay, because in one of the videos, it shows you where there is foliage, plants everywhere. And it broke. It's okay, it's happening. As an artist, you just use what you have, no complaining. So there we go. The tulips are a U. And so you would draw your U first. There's my U, and you would fill it in, and you could put different colors. So you could put a bunch of tulips in there, like I said, a frog. Now here on the back is my one that I started that I was talking with another class. Now you're going to get to dab on this project, not this, but you're going to dab with this, because that's what the Impressionist artist did. And you'll take you should have a different color blue for your sky than your water, and you'll have 3 colors. And I'm going to put my sponge brush in here, and I'm going to hold it, and you should have a wax paper. I don't have one over here. Sorry. Now this is the magic. If I did a good job of filling in the white, and I'm running out of paint on this one, I'm going to have to use another color.
Staff, just a reminder, we have staff meeting in the library in about 5 minutes. Staff meeting in about 5 minutes.
Sorry, I'm doing this before school, so yes, we have a meeting. So I'm dabbing, and I'm just, see how I'm slowly filling in. And if you don't want to use this big sponge brush, you don't have to. I kind of like using it, and yours is going to be a big paper. Do you see the magic, though? When I bring this paint across here, the bridge is appearing, and it's magic. So now I would come in, and you want a line. Remember, crooked, straight is boring. So then you would come in with your flat brush. So I have a curve, a line there. And all this would be filled in with how I want. And in some of them we have glitter, remember, and the glitter just makes it look amazing. So you can come in right on top of that and see if I don't have it colored. Oh, these are going to be beautiful. Because it won't color over. It will color over, but you still see the oil pastel. And so you would come in and clean your paintbrush. I'm sorry, I don't have any water back here. Like I said, I was trying to get this done before school. And just mix in your purples and your blues, and this is going to be your Monet Bridge. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they look like.